Good afternoon, all. The destination can be metamorphosed into the holy grail by self determination, hard work, and perfect time utilization. Grabbing an opportunity that suits your profile is another blessing to one. With an endearing vibe, I, Ragini Mishra, along with Shreyas Pradhan, welcome you all to today's alumni talk session. Here, we would like to summon our center of attraction of the day, whose achievements and academic excellence are noticeable. We also have the executive body members of the CEST on board, including Satyajit Swain, the vice president of the CEST club, and Biswajit Majhi, the president of ICE.
For today's session, we have Mrs. Subhadra Subhadarshini as our guest of honor, a BTech MTech dual degree student of the pass out year 2020. Currently, she is working at CIL Coal India Limited, an Indian central PSU and the most significant government owned coal producer in the world. She also qualified for prelims and mains of ESE 2022 and got 87th rank in GATE 2022. She qualified she also gone through more than 10 tech interviews. Now I would like to invite the vice president of the club to address the guest with his words.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome you all to this afternoon session of Alumni Talks. I welcome you all on behalf of CEST family in this magnificent session. I, Satyajit Swain, Vice President of CEST Club, would glad to have uh, just a minute. Glad to have Mrs. Subhadra Subhadarshini as our chief guest of Alumni Speaks, and I hope everyone will enjoy the session, and it will be and everyone will take some of the learnings and lesson from this session. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhaiya, for your words. Now I invite Mr. Biswajit Majhi, the vice president of ICE, to address the guest.
Hello, good afternoon to all. I, Biswajit Majhi, the Vice President of ICE, gladly welcome you all to this inspiring session. Our club believes in learning and evolving together, and the workshops, seminar, alumni, and the placement talks help us to learn an infinite depth. And so today it is my immense pleasure to have Ms. Subhadra Subhadarshini as the guest of placement talk. She is presently working in one of the Maharatna PSU, that is the Coal India Limited, which is surely a dream of many young enthusiast minds. So I'm looking forward for this session, and I'm sure that man's word will surely inspire us. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhaiya. Okay, so without wasting a second, let's dive into the session and begin our placement talk with Subhadra ma'am. Ragini, will you take the questions?
Yes. So, first of all, very good afternoon, ma'am. So, the first question is, having cracked all the competitive exams from JE to ESE mains, a top ranker in GATE, you have been a bright student. So, can you please elaborate on your childhood and schooling days?
Ma'am, you are not audible.
Ma'am, you're still not audible.
I guess there is some network issue. Please wait till we resolve that. Till then, let's have a look at the video of our CEST club.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yes, good afternoon.
Thank you. I am really honored that CEST Club gave me such a nice opportunity so that I can present my views in such a coveted platform. And coming to the question, like I was born and brought up in Sunabeda, HL Township. My childhood was full of fun. I was never a good student. I was from the very beginning and very average student. I was not that much addicted to studies and all that. I always schooling and childhood was all fun. Like I used to study just the night before the exam and just appear for the exams. So up to 10th and 12th, I was just an average student.
That's really interesting. So, ma'am, the next question is joining NIT Rourkela and choosing civil. So, can you please walk us through the golden days of your college life?
Initially, I was a bit disappointed that I couldn't get into IIT, and my initial beginning, the first semester was not a soothing experience. I scored very low CG in SG in my first semester, and but NIT Rourkela and civil is the best thing that happened to me. during my second semester, I slowly gained momentum. I started loving that civil engineering and the civil engineering branch subjects and the NIT Rourkela. And I gained momentum slowly. I felt fascinated by the technical subjects, which came up eventually in my third semester, fourth semester. So, and in Rourkela, there are lots of like memories and the libraries, the classes, the labs, the professors, everything are some of the good memories that I will cherish forever.
Great to hear that. And how is your experience with the core subject? Like, which was your favorite subject? And can you please guide us on which subject should we focus the most or is extremely important?
Uh, Core subjects like civil engineering has the core subject in civil engineering are has numericals and concepts. It's like a balanced branch, actually, I would say. And there are some things, some factual subjects like building materials, which one needs to remember, one needs to cram. And there are some very good subjects like structure and SOM, that we have very good concepts that we need to understand. Well, my favorite subjects were like soil mechanics, transportation engineering, and RCC, which we can feel it in daily life. There are many practical applications of these subjects. And regarding the important subjects, I would say for GATE and ESE, the soil mechanics, the building materials, the transportation engineering, and RCC, these are like all important subjects which which one needs to have a thorough understanding of. For a gate, for ESE, hydraulic machines, and we have railway engineering that one needs to focus on for ESE.
Thank you, ma'am. That was really an informative answer. Nextly, I would like to know you had an internship at Rourkela Steel Plant, and so can you please share that experience you had there, and what was your preparation and skills that are required to get into it?
Yes, I had a very short stint of 2 months internship at RSP, Rourkela Steel Plant. It was a very knowledge enriching experience. Like came across total station surveying, the measurement of angles, linear measurements, everything was they were taught me how to do total station surveying in the field. It was a very good exposure. Then basics of estimation and highway construction and maintenance were also taught to me during that internship. I got a very good exposure to that. And regarding RSP internship, it's one can easily get through. Like one needs to apply, and having a decent CG, one can easily get an internship in RSP.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, nextly we are very curious to know that the is this fact right that internships play an essential role in placements, and is it mentioned in the detailed application form in ESE or GATE?
Well, in EAC, there is in detailed application form, there is no we don't need to mention about our internship. But yes, in some of the PSU interviews like IOCL, they ask about where you have done your internship and what skills you have learned in internship. So for some of the PSU interviews, yes, internship plays an important role, but for ESE maybe it is not that important. But yes, if one does internship and gets to learn about the various practical aspects, it will definitely help in ESE interview.
Got it, ma'am. Now I'm taking one of the questions we are all waiting for. So, what was your strategy for GATE and DSC, and what was your source of study for those? And did you refer any reference books? And can you please enlist some of the important books through which an aspirant must go through?
Like strategy for GATE and ESE is pretty simple. Like first and the important thing is that one needs to cover the entire syllabus once, and multiple revisions is the key. So during my first 6 months, like after when there is just 1 year left for GATE and ESE, during the first 6 months, one needs to go through the concepts like very elaborately, very in details. One needs to go through the concepts, and after during that first 6 months, one needs to appear for that part-time subjects in MADESE and IS Master. Then in the remaining 6 months, one needs to do 2 times, at least 2 times revision for GATE and ESE. And regarding my source of study was basically IS Master material, but regarding that reference books, one doesn't get time like to go through the reference books a lot. But during semester exams for soil mechanics, like Gopal Ranjan book proves to be a very effective material, and for transportation, books is also a good one. And rest we have BC Punya for building materials. If one gets time, one can even go through that. But I would say just focus on one material and just revise it multiple times.
That was really, really informative. And what, according to you, is the right time when we can begin our preparations?
Like when one is sure that one needs a government job, one has made up his mind to get into the government sector, then that's the right time. Like one should step into the preparation stage. Like when as soon as possible, if one starts the preparation, then it becomes less hectic. Like at the last moment, you won't get nervous, or there will be too it won't be so much burdens up. So I would say, like if from the beginning, if one is very determined to get into government sector, then during the third semester itself, the technical subject starts. So from the second year, one should start one's preparation actually.
We totally agree to what you said. Now, and what was your
Yeah.
timetable? Can you just share with us? And how did you manage your preparations with the classes?
Like timetable, initially I made very strict timetables for me. I was over anxious, but I couldn't follow it. So I would then slowly I made like short term timetables, like completing one subject in 1 week. Similarly, so my daily routine used to be like from morning 5:30 to 7:30, 2 hours I used to study. Then we have that college classes till 12 o'clock. Then in the evening also, like up to 5:15, we usually used to have classes or labs. So after that I used to take some rest, and then 6:30 to around 9:30 I used to study. And this used to be my consistent, like I used to follow it consistently. And during the last days, like just before exam, it used to extend longer. And even during like I used to study like more, I used to give more time to revision, like extra 2 3 hours I used to devote just before 2 months prior to the exam actually.
Yes, ma'am, very correct. That is why it is rightly said that consistency is the key to success. And it said that mechanics
Definitely.
of solid and structural analysis are considered to be the most challenging subjects in civil engineering. So, how did you tackle those? Please share some tips and tricks.
Mm. Like strength of materials and structural analysis, yes, they are difficult, like they are challenging, but fortunately they are introduced in the very third and fourth semesters. So they are basically conceptual questions. if one grabs the concepts either through classroom like teachings or through YouTube or any videos or medici, then these subjects are actually very interesting also. You will be like one will have fun solving tricky questions. So first and foremost thing for students must be to first understand the concepts, then repeated practices like questions of various sorts. One can practice like, because it is taught in very early stages, so one gets plenty of time to practice a lot of questions. Then slowly the one can get command over this subject only by virtue of practice. And eventually I can assure you that these questions only will be the you will feel very comfortable while solving in exams, and there are very chances of there are very little chances of committing error in questions related to structural analysis and strength of materials in exams.
Yes, ma'am. We completely agree to you. And how important is making notes? Can you please elaborate your strategy for preparing notes and short notes?
Yes, notes are very important. I started making notes, but unfortunately these notes got piled up and I didn't revise, so I started just underlining in the textbooks only, and I started revising it. But when it comes to ESE, when the syllabus is too vast and one doesn't get time to revise everything, one can make just the short notes of some critical factual things or some errors one commits in any test. Like very crisp and short notes can be very helpful before the exams. Just one need not prepare elaborate notes, but short and quick notes one can prepare depending on one's areas of weakness and strength.
Yeah, ma'am, very helpful tip that would be. For next question, there have been many ups and downs during your preparation, and sometimes, despite lots of hard work, we are not able to get result like scoring well in semester exam. How did you tackle those? Do you think semester exam plays a role in ESC or GATE?
Yes, definitely. There will be many ups and downs. I have faced it. Sometimes it used to happen like I studied one thing today, tomorrow only I used to forget those things. Maybe it's in some mock exams I used to get very low marks. I sometimes felt like my confidence is buried in the I had low confidence, low morals. But at that time, one needs to understand that this same thing is happening even with with everyone. This same thing is happening, like even the next year's gate rank one candidate or the ESC rank one candidate must be going through the same circumstances. So one should not be demoralized by that thing. And a support system is very important in this regard. If you have a good friend circle or family supporting you at the time of low morals, then that will be a very one can say that will be a very good blessing for you. But one needs to keep on studying, bounce back from various demoralizing situation. And yes, semester exams forms the studying for semesters, and whatever classroom teachings we get in the our college, they strengthen our basics. They sometimes help us in gate and ESE exams. The teachings that we learn from there, it sometimes you may not you cannot realize in the very beginning, but when it comes to exam, sometimes you will remember this professor has told this one and it may help you in exam. So one needs to be even very careful regarding giving careful, and one needs to prepare well for semester exams as well.
Okay, ma'am. The next question is, the dates of GATE and ESC prelims are generally so close to each other. How did you manage both? Which mock test to give either GATEs or prelims?
Regarding this, I would say most of the syllabus of GATE and ESE are overlapping in nature, but barring a few subjects like hydraulic machines and railway engineering, structural dynamics, some part, and building materials plays an important role for ESE. So one can do what one can do is that up to December one can have a very holistic preparations, studying all the concepts of all subjects in detail, and just before gate exam, like 15 days prior to the gate exam, one can give just a gate specific mock test. And during that 1 week gap between the gate exam and ESE exam, one can focus on that non-tech subjects, that we have like 10 non-tech subjects in ESE, and give just ESE specific mock test and revise the quips that one would have made while studying those subjects in detail.
Okay, ma'am. According to you, what should students do during their final stage of preparation? How much time should we invest in revision and mock test? And generally, what is the right time to start the final revision?
Like I would say, like for both the GATE and ESE, one should start one's final revision, 1 month, at least 1 month prior to the exams, because 4 year syllabus, it's a huge syllabus. For revision also it takes lots of time, and one should focus like per day 1 to 2 mock tests will do, and the rest majorly of the time should be devoted for multiple revisions actually.
Okay, ma'am. Uh, what should be the right strategy to prepare for ESC interview? Are mock interviews beneficial?
Like in ESC interviews, we fill one that is called detailed application form, where mostly the details regarding schooling, college, projects, achievements, hobbies, extracurricular activities are there. So basically, what I felt from this year's interview experience of mine is that, like already they test our technical knowledge through prelims and mains. So mostly they focus on our personality in this interview. So one needs to have a very thorough awareness of one own self, one's strength, weakness, and about one's own hometown, regarding one's schooling, college, everything, and all the after thorough assessment of one's self, then technical just brush up with our basics. We can go through some of the practical questions related to our subjects. These are like studying, preparing regarding one's personality, and some few technical concepts will be sufficient for cracking the ESE interview. But yes, mock interviews will be very helpful. They will help in boosting the confidence. They will produce real type environment that will the mock interviews basically simulate the same environment that one faces in the real interview. So that will be really very helpful.
Okay, ma'am. So you are currently working in CIL. What was the induction process of CIL? And is the induction process for most of the PSU same?
Like in 2020, through CIL MT exam, I got this CIL. There was a written exam, and there was an interview. uh, but nowadays CIL is also recruiting through GATE. So most of the PSUs are recruiting through GATE. So GATE proves to a very like important exams if one gets, if one wants to get into a PSU. So and then followed by the first shortlisting of candidates is done based on the GATE marks. Then there will be an interview. The weightage will be less for most of the PSUs. So for getting for any induction, for getting into any PSU, needs to score well in gate, and interview one needs to prepare well for interview, like basic technical knowledge will be covered, and a very thorough assessment of one's personality, and all other questions like related to hobbies, extracurriculars, just they will test that. So this is the induction process for most of the PSUs.
Okay, ma'am. What is your job profile at CIL and what are your future plans for it? Would you like to share something?
Like the my currently in CIL, in the civil engineering department, I am mostly involved with the estimation process, like checking the estimate, and calculating the estimated value of various buildings and various industrial structures, wind barriers, etc. So the CIL is basically a very good organization. There is a very good work-life balance, and even very good like construction works are going on. One can get really a good exposure of the civil engineering here. And my m- uh, my future plan regarding CIL is that like I would like better like I would like to continue with this CSU until and unless I don't get into a very good department of Indian engineering services.
Okay, ma'am. So, are higher studies important for civil engineering for better opportunities? What if someone's preparation is good for ESE? Should they leave higher studies and go for the ESE exam?
See, if one is confident about one's ESA preparation, and if one has really devoted a good time for ESA preparation, then I don't think one should go for higher studies, because I mean, if one gets into higher studies and prepares simultaneously, then one won't be able to give justice to both the things. So I would say, like, if you are confident, then prepare for EAC wholeheartedly, and then if after some few attempts one will be definitely able to get through this exam. If still if one doesn't get, then gate rank is valid for 3 years. After that, one can give a try to higher studies. Actually, higher studies options one can select anytime in the future. But if one is really very ardently, if one wants to get into EAC exam, then just go for EAC exam only. Don't mix it up with the higher studies, like doing MTech and preparing for EAC simultaneously.
Okay, ma'am. You went through more than 10 tech interviews. What was the common thing which you noticed? Please guide us on what should be the right preparation strategy for it.
Yes, I have gone through like many tech interviews. I went through IOCL interview, BARC interview, NPCL interview, and NLC, NBCC, etc. Many interviews. The one thing is that interviews are for interviews. First thing is that one needs to have a very good confidence level should be very high for interviews. Then just the basic understandings of the civil engineering concepts and their applications will do for the interview. Like one doesn't need to worry much about the technical part. In addition to that, preparing some of the personality related questions regarding one's hometown, one's school, one's hobbies, one's extracurricular activities, projects, and internship. And even one needs to have a very good understanding of the current affairs, like awareness regarding current affairs for cracking interviews. Like,
Okay, ma'am. So I would like to know how was your club experiences at NITR? Did you join any club or please share your experiences about the club?
Like NITR, there were many clubs, and clubs are really awesome. They give exposure to so many activities and tasks, etc. But I was not part of any club in my during my college. Like I was not a part of any club. Uh,
Acha. Okay, ma'am. So, any final suggestions for our readers and listeners you would like to give?
like I would say is what I would say. My final piece of advice would be this: competitive exams like GATE and ESE are just part of our lives. We through the process, we also need to take care of our health, of our mental peace, of our social life, and everything. Like we just don't need to move unidirectionally for this competitive exams. One should keep one's confidence very high during the process, and one should not be demoralized by small failures or maybe poor marks in mock exams or etc. So this is an entire process. Just enjoy the entire process, and automatically when one starts enjoying the process, the results will be definitely in one's favor. But take care of yourself. Like these are just only a part of our life.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you for sharing so many informative answers, ma'am. We're really grateful that you're here with us and uh, you're sharing every questions that we're asking. But now we would like to collect some of the questions from the live comment section.
Sure.
So here, Biswajit is asking, ma'am, please highlight on your work culture at CIL.
Well, Vishwajit, work culture in CIL is very chilled actually. There is not much work pressure over here. Regarding like regarding the posting can be in like some remote places there can be, but the office timings and the etc. Everything is very chill. Like work culture is very conducive for the employees. It is very employee friendly work culture.
So Atul is asking, ma'am, please mention some practical myths of civil branch.
Yes, there is a myth that civil branch people they need to go out, stand in the like under the scorching heat of the sun, and needs to supervise the construction works. But in reality, when one joins as an executive, one like there will be very few supervisions, and even the estimates they are mostly prepared by the J's and all those overseer engineers. One needs to just go through that, like check it. And AutoCAD and Start Pro also, we think that we basically the executives we will need to design it, but that is also done by the JE. So basically in civil engineering, one like we don't need to go under the sun, or we don't need to like use very like AutoCAD and Start Pro and design everything on our own. We are just, and majority of the works nowadays in all the companies, like the government companies, they're done through like through contractors. So basically the workload of civil branch in any government organization or PSU is nowadays very much reduced. So we are just at the supervising end, like checking all those things. We don't do, like it's not that hectic work when it comes to any government organization or PSU.
That was a very informative and interesting answer. So, beginning with the next question, Kaushik Kachap is asking, my friends are preparing for IT and private sector. Observing them, sometimes I feel disappointed that I am going for government job. Can you tell us how to stay motivated during this scenario?
Uh, let me like give examples of people of my batch. Yes, like people prepared for IT and private sector. They went for that. They joined there. They worked for few months, and everyone, like almost 60 to 70% people, they have left IT and private sector, and they have like came back and started preparing for the government exam. So you should feel more happy that from the beginning only you are preparing for government job. You will achieve that. What they will do after 2 to 3 years, you will be getting it. Like now only you will be preparing and you will get it. And government job, I don't want, no offense, but government jobs, they are more stable, secure, and once you get that, you will know that it is very chilled, and the level of respect what any government job holder gets in our society, the it's very high. So understanding that understanding the consequences of getting a government job, the perks of getting a government job, you can keep yourself motivated.
Yes, ma'am, we really agree to what you said. Now, Satyan Raj is asking, why did you choose CIL over those PSUs like ONGC and PGCIL?
To be honest, CIL, actually CIL I would say the largest corporate employer PSU in our country. It is like the magnitude of CIL is too huge. CIL is a very stable PSU. Almost 70%, 67% is owned by the government, and moreover, CIL like CIL has 8 subsidiaries. So there is a subsidiary called MCL, which is situated in my own home state, Odisha. So I selected CIL because I could get posting in Odisha, like MCL. Like ONGC has no, there is, you can't get posting in Odisha when one joins ONGC. So CIL, for me, my whole getting posted in my home state was very important. Like I felt like I was very homesick, so I selected CIL so that I could get posting in MCL in Odisha. And basically because CIL, the number of employees are huge, so the work pressure as compared to some of my seniors are in PGCL, they are telling they are hard pressed, they are over, there is over, they are like overloaded with works and all that. So CIL is a very chill PSU, very less work, very flexible timings. Like basically I go at 10:30, I come at 1, and then again I go at 4:30 and I come back at 6. So I get sufficient time for preparation. The perks are also good in CIL. We have a coal mine pension scheme. Like pension scheme is absent in ONGC or PGCL. So long term benefits in Coal India Limited are and the medical facilities in CIL, I would say, is the best of all the PSU's medical facilities. So I selected CIL over other PSUs.
That was a really clear cut answer. Now, Shubh is asking, what is your job profile at CIL?
In Coal India Limited, as I said, now I am placed in the technical cell of the civil engineering department at MCL headquarters, Bulla. So my job profile is there will be various areas under MCL. So the various construction works that are going on, like the buildings, industrial sites, compound wall, hospitals, etc., all those estimates that will come to the headquarter MCL. So I am basically in charge of checking all the estimates, and besides that, preparing monthly progress reports of the various works going on, closure of contracts, and sometimes even I need to go through the soil investigation reports of the various projects, like the silos and etc. And and uh,
I guess there is some network issue.
Sorry for the.
So Biswajit is asking, ma'am, how did you manage to prepare for ESE along with the working hours in Coal India?
Yes, as I said, the working hours in Coal India are very.
Again, we are facing some network issue. I hope this will be finished soon. So now I would like to invite Miss Hanisha to present the vote of thanks.
Hope I am audible. Firstly, I am Sakala Bhaktula
Hello,
Hanisha.
hello.
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Yes, as I said, like in Coal India, in the beginning, initial 1 year, I was undergoing training. So the work hours were very minimal. Like in the first 6 months, I had basically just no work. I was just getting acclimatized to the organization. So there was sufficient time. There was very chilled work culture, no work pressure. The much work pressure was not there. So even effectively, as I said, like 10:30 to 1 and 4:30 to 6, like 3 to 4 hours of work was there. So I got sufficient time to prepare for the ESE. So I started like practicing questions, revising, going through the questions. So this is a very like positive point when it comes to Coal India Limited, where the work pressure is very minimal.
Got it, ma'am. So Biswa Prakash Bainipati is asking, how has been your lifestyle as of now? Like after ESC and BTech, you have been through a lot.
Uh, how well like after ESC and BTech, yes, like lifestyle then during my college was different, and now after getting job and this EAC and all those things, like now I feel more confident, and it has undergone a very positive change. Like like now before during my college, like basically now I am getting good facilities, getting good social respect, and getting good perks and all that. So lifestyle has undergone a very drastic change. My emotional mental health has become more pacified, and everything like has changed, like it has undergone a change.
Okay, ma'am. So we'll be taking one last question from the live section. That is from Aditya Chandra. Ma'am, which one is better, PSU or government job?
Like I had left I was an assistant executive engineer in Odisha PWD department last year. Better PSU, there are like many pros and cons of both PSUs and government jobs. Like if one I would list them, like some of them. In PSU one would get a very peaceful life. In PSU, the pay structure is such that the overall the gross salary and the facilities will be definitely always higher for PSU when it gets compared with a government job. So perks are more in PSU, peace is more in PSU, but sometimes you may feel like in PSU the work culture may be sometimes managerial. Like you may not get pure technical. As you will reach as you will climb up the ladder, as you will get promoted, work will be basically more managerial in PSU. And but PSU, even nowadays some people fear of privatization, like small PSUs they may get privatized. And government job, it's a very very stable secure job. Technical exposure may be higher when it comes to a government job, like maybe state government or central government. But obviously if one wants to opt for government job, one should opt for central government jobs. They are very they are they are much organized than the state government jobs. So if I would be given a chance to rate all the like central government ESE PSUs or state government jobs, AWE jobs, then first I would on the first thing, first preference would be for me central government ESE job, group A gazetted job. Then second I may rate PSUs, because overall they are more organized, more there are more perks in PSU jobs. And third, in state government jobs like assistant executive engineers, they are also a lucrative option.
Thank you for giving such honest and informative answers. I hope everyone who is watching this and everyone who's aspiring for GATE and AC, for them, this will be really, really beneficial. So now I would like to invite Miss Hanisha to present the vote of thanks.
Hope I'm audible. I'm Sakala Bhaktula Hanisha, Technical Coordinator of CEST. Would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to Ms. Subhadra Priyadarshini on behalf of whole CEST family for being here and giving her valuable time to us. Your experience and how you answered all the queries would enrich and help the students. And thanks to the audience for being patient and continuing until the last session. I'm pretty sure that everyone must have gained guidance from the session. We will keep organizing such events and valuable guidance sessions for aspirants, as these guidance sessions prepare you for the challenges of the future, shape you for the better decision making, and facilitate career exploration and planning. So stay connected on our social media handles for the session updates. At last, thanks to the organizing team for putting in the effort to make the session successful. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the giving me an opportunity to express my views. Thanks. I will extend my thanks to the entire SES team.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for being with us.
Thank.